In this video, we'll be factoring a common factor. Use the distributive property in reverse to factor out the greatest common factor. So you'll notice in this binomial on the left that we have a common factor of a. Notice the a here and then the a here. So that's our greatest common factor that we're going to factor out. So we write it in front and then multiply it by the quantity b plus c. Let's look at an example. We're asked to factor completely 18x cubed plus 27x squared. Now I'm going to write my factors out. You may not need to do this, but it might help if you can't see what your common factor is. So I'm seeing a factor of 9 in both of these numerical coefficients. So I'm going to write the 18 as 2 times 9, and then x cubed, I'm going to write that as x times x times x, plus, and then 27 is 3 times 9, so I'll write 3 times 9, and then my x squared I'll write as x times x. So when we're looking for our greatest common factor, we can see that we have a factor of 9 in both terms, and we can see that we have a factor of x in both, and another factor of x in both. Now that's all the common factors that we have. Right? So our common factor, our greatest common factor, is 9x squared. Write that in front, and then multiply that by a quantity, and we'll find what's left here by dividing both terms by 9x squared. So if I take this first term and divide it by 9x squared, I can see that 9 over 9 is 1, and I can see x squared over x squared is also 1. So what's left is 2 times x over 1, which I'll just write as 2x. Then my operation between the two terms is plus, and then I'll do the same thing with this term, divide by 9x squared, and I have 9 over 9 is 1, and x squared over x squared is 1. So the factor that I have left is 3 times 1, which is just 3. So this is my factored form of this binomial. Now you can check yourself by multiplying this back through to see if you actually get what you started with. 9x squared times 2x is 18x cubed, and 9x squared times 3 is 27x squared. Let's do another one. Now this one's a little bit different. I can see though that I have two terms. There's one right here and then one right here. But the common factor, I can see that I have an x plus 3 in both terms. So x plus 3 is my common factor. So I'll pull that out in front, x plus 3. Remember to write that in parentheses because it's the common quantity, x plus 3. And then I need to open my parentheses and write what's left once I divide by x plus 3. So I'll take my first term and divide by x plus 3, and this entire quantity, x plus 3 over x plus 3, is 1. So I'm left with just the x squared factor. And then plus And then do the same thing with this term, divide by x plus 3, and I can see that this entire x plus 3 quantity over x plus 3 is 1, and I'm left with 5 times 1 over 1, which is just 5. So this is my factored form of this expression.